The boy let the thugs take the last bit of money from his home on purpose, because he knew the surveillance camera in the corner would capture all the evidence. When the thugs were counting their loot in the corner, the man walked by and deliberately dropped something in front of them. Sure enough, the next second the thugs took it as their own. What they didn't know was that this move would become the key to their downfall. Soon after, a father handed the man the video he had just recorded. The next step was to wait for the court session the next day. It turned out the man was the representative in a bullying case. Just the day before, the court had ruled on a school bullying case, even though the victim had solid evidence. The opposing lawyer overturned it with a strong defense. Not only did the bully avoid punishment, he even threatened the father and son in public, saying if they didn't drop the charges, no lawyer in the city would dare take their case again. Hearing this, the father and son fell into despair. At that moment, the man happened to pass by and saw everything. As a top lawyer with a perfect win record in his past life, he stepped forward without hesitation to take on the case. Everyone around burst into laughter, because the man was known as a notoriously troublesome lawyer. Whenever he took a case, he either turned probation into a death sentence, or made light penalties into severe ones. His reputation was terrible. At that time, the man was extremely frustrated. He used to be a 100% win rate lawyer in his past life, but now he had crossed over into the body of a loser lawyer. The opposing lawyer mocked him to his face, and the bully's father looked at him with disdain, then laughed loudly and left. After everyone was gone, the boy's father anxiously asked the man if there was any chance of winning. The man firmly promised to get justice for them. The next day, the man went to the client's house to gather information. With just one look, he figured out where the boy's injuries came from. The thugs had threatened the boy using his best friend and the girl he liked, and forced him to fall down the stairs in public to protect others. The boy threw himself down the stairs and seriously injured his hand. The man sat by his side to comfort him, but the boy was already mentally broken. He didn't believe he had any chance of winning. The man admitted that even if they won, the other side would only be sentenced to a year at most, and once they got out, they would come back with even more revenge. The father felt completely hopeless hearing this, but then, the man calmly said, there was still a way to make sure they never got out again, and that's how the opening scene happened. The man used surveillance to catch the rich kid and the thugs committing robbery. He planned to charge them with robbery, so they'd face a much heavier sentence. At the same time, the bully's father heard about the man's involvement, and immediately handed over a bank card, adding another $50,000 in lawyer fees, saying his son's future must not be affected. The lawyer was full of confidence, and swore he would win the case, but none of them knew the man already had the key evidence. On the day of the trial, the opposing lawyer publicly humiliated the man in front of all the media. As the trial officially began, both sides took their seats. The man started reading his indictment. Everyone noticed, compared to before, only one new charge had been added: robbery. So no one believed he could use this to turn the case around. Even the opposing lawyer looked down on him, and instead requested compensation of $3 million for damage to the defendant's reputation. The judge also stated that if the plaintiff failed to produce evidence, he would be prosecuted for perjury. The judge then asked the plaintiff to submit new evidence. The man immediately played the key video, but to everyone's surprise, the footage only showed the thug stealing a pack of cigarettes. The opposing lawyer quickly argued that the pack was already opened and could be considered empty.